moving on to Beef, Seth and Tyler. This is like the craved TV show right now. I am gonna again find the synopsis.
It's easier.
It's fine. I just two strangers get into a road rage incident that brings chaos into their lives. I believe this is a very surface level synopsis, if I'm not mistaken. This is the Netflix original. It's the first A24 TV show, if I'm not mistaken. So am I wrong?
Euphoria is A24, but yeah, it's like they haven't done many. Yeah, they haven't done many.
Yeah.
I feel like Euphoria was bought by A24.
I feel like they didn't.
Well, technically A24 does that for all their. But yeah,
y'all talk about it. I'll find the answer.
Okay, Seth, you go first because I think you liked it more than me. Even though I did really, really like it, but I think you loved it.
Yeah. So my mum came around the other day, and I'd heard about this for a while, and we were going to watch a film, but then she was like, "Have you heard of the new show Beef?" I don't know how she heard of it because it's been promoted on Netflix, stuff like that. We watched one episode of it, and like I really, really enjoyed it. I think we watched a couple. She went home, and then I ended up finishing it in like a day. Which just doesn't happen. I don't watch TV shows like that. I've not binged a TV show since I had to House of the Dragon because I was last. I did what Tyler did.
Which to be fair though, it's 10 episodes and each are like 30 minutes. It's not like the craziest one season binge, but still like
it wasn't like each episode's like 50 minutes an hour, like a Last of Us kind of thing. But it was I had such a great time with it. I think it kind of captured so much in one season that a lot of shows haven't been able to accomplish. And I think in my opinion, maybe aside from the last episode, I think each episode got better for me anyway. And I think there was so much explored, and it was quite, like Cam said, with the synopsis, it's quite surface level. Okay, two people get into a road rage incident. It's obviously Stephen Yeun and Ali Wong, who are both fantastic. Stephen Yeun is just an incredible actor. He is, Tyler. I know everyone's been going on Twitter about it, but that scene in the church really is amazing.
Insane.
It really is.
Wait, sorry to interrupt. Is this a limited series, or is there going to be a season 2?
I think they're going to do a second one.
They haven't. Yeah, like technically right now it's a limited series, but like I don't know if it was who wrote it, like Lee Jung Sing, or who said it. But someone was like, they're like, we have like 3 seasons planned out, but we don't know for sure.
Well, I was going to ask Tyler. I'll obviously give me a quick answer. I'll go into it after. But do you think they'd potentially do it where it's completely different characters in the next season, then a similar scenario with different circumstances or whatever?
I was thinking it might be, and I hope it would be, honestly, because as much as I love this cast, I thought this cast is so good. I don't really think I want this story to continue. I think they wrapped it up perfectly.
No, I agree. I think a lot of people's complaints about this was that it could have been kind of a film for a lot of people. I actually disagree. I think it worked its way through magically in terms of having different social commentary aspects in each episode. For one, you were looking at culture, family obligations, anger, society, narcissism, mental health, and you were looking at that through that period, and it was like these two people are seeing each other at their lowest, what other people don't see, and it was kind of the way they were presented to each other, and this kind of feud that they had ongoing. And I think that it needed to be a series, in my opinion, so it could, if it was a film, say if it was like a 2.5 hour film, I think it would have been very squashed down. And I think my issue with a lot of films sometimes, it was similar with The Last Black Man in San Francisco, when they tried to tackle too much than they can handle in a short period of time. When it comes to social commentary, it gets muddled for me. And this show tackles so much more than you kind of, what Cam said, you read the synopsis, you think it's going to make you like a funny comedy, whatever, and it is a funny comedy. I think the first 2 episodes were hilarious, but it delves into something a lot more in terms of social commentary it presides, and I think it needed that time to do so. And it just resonated deeply in not a way where I experienced a few of the same things, but culturally it was completely different. And it was just something I had so much fun with, and I think it was emotional. I think it was riveting. I think it was exciting. I think it was thrilling, and I also think it was just really funny at the same time, which did surprise me. And I think it says a massive compliment if I'm binge watching a show, even though it isn't the longest. I think Tyler, runtime maybe 5 hours.
10 episodes are like 35-ish minutes. So
yeah. So
really?
That kind of margin. And even that for me is usually too much when it comes to TV shows, because I'll just stop after like 3 episodes. I get too tired. But I just found myself continuing it. Really, really enjoyed it. I did rate it on Letterboxd. So I kind of wanted to give it a rating. 4.5 for me. I know I enjoyed it probably maybe not more than most, but maybe on the same level as the majority. I think it's got a really high Letterboxd rating right now, like a 4.4, which did surprise me. But yeah, I've seen mixed things. I loved it. It really resonated with me, and I think it was not only one of the best things that A24 has produced, but also one of the best Netflix original TV shows I've seen. And I do want to clarify as well. I said that in my review, and I think people on TikTok have very much selective hearing, and they're like, I'll say like it's one of the best, and they'll be like, "How is it the best? Have you seen this?"
Yeah,
one of the best could mean top 20. You know what I mean? It's just a Netflix show that was very, very, very fucking good. That I really enjoyed. But yeah, I'll let you say what you thought on it.
Yeah, like I mentioned a minute ago, I thought the cast was so good. Stephen Yeun being the standout, but Ali Wong, she's a comedian by trade, and same with David Cho, he's a painter by trade. Yeah. So these guys aren't strong actors in terms of they're not classically trained, haven't been doing it a ton. So I thought they all did great. I don't know the name of the actor, but Stephen Yeun's brother in the show, I thought he was perfectly fit for what he had to do in the movie or in the show. And yeah, I just thought the cast is the strength of this. I could see it being shorter. I think because like you said, the plot surface level in terms of like the synopsis you had to read with like two people getting a road rage incident, there's a beef. And I think the first like 4 episodes, while it does start to go into the themes, like the deeper themes of family ties, culture, success, failure, parents, cheating, all these kind of things, I think it really starts to get into those in like the final couple episodes, whereas the first few episodes are more about like the beef, going back and forth, playing little pranks on each other. But still, I really enjoyed it. They're perfect bite-sized episodes. The first episode is a perfect hook. There's so many great needle drops in the season. The soundtrack's incredible, I don't think anything beat for me the first episode's needle drop. The Hoobastank, what is it, like the Found a Reason or whatever? But that's
the one that's been so traveling around Twitter as well.
Yeah, so good. But yeah, so I just thought, yeah, Stephen Yeun, I hope he wins like an Emmy for this because he's so good. That church scene obviously is going to be like the clip they're going to play for his Emmy nomination. So good, but even beyond that, he's just incredible this entire season.
I was just gonna say that not only just like the acting ability in a dramatic way, but Ali Wong and Stephen Yeun's comedic timing, especially in those earlier episodes, I think was so good. Mm-hmm. Especially when it comes to comedy. Obviously, she's a comedian by trade, but Ali Wong was great. She made me laugh a lot. It
was great, and yeah, I think the final episode for me was good, not great. They wrapped it up pretty well. I just feel like, I don't know if we needed a whole episode devoted to their revelations on life and like coming together, because I feel like a lot of them, like as a viewer, you're picking up on them through like the flashbacks and stuff throughout the entire series. So then I feel like the last episode is kind of like a, hey guys, in case you missed everything we gave you this season, like we're gonna just spell it out for you, like all the stuff we should have learned and should have noticed. But still, like it was very good. I haven't rated on Letterboxd yet. I'm not gonna do like an out of 10 score because it's a TV show, and I just simply am just not.
Yeah, I never
can't do that. But I'm gonna give it a star score, and I think it's probably gonna be like a 4-star for me. Surprisingly, it is like staying with classic A24 fashion, where Twitter's obviously blowing this thing up like crazy. But I've seen a lot of, quote unquote, like laymen that are like, I watched it and it just like wasn't for me, which for me, I thought this was going to be one of the more accessible A24 projects, but I'm still seeing plenty of people that are like, it's just not the best thing I've ever seen. Whereas, the people that typically love A24 are eating this up like always. But yeah,
I think it's so popular. There is always going to be contrarians to the subject because it's so popular. And I do think I can definitely understand, like with you, obviously you really liked it, didn't like it as much as me, but I definitely understand people want it a bit shorter, although I don't agree with it film-based, and that'll be way too short. And I do understand with people, like you said, the first 3-4 episodes are more about building the feud, and then it kind of goes into those issues quickly in the last 4 or 3, whatever. But at the same time, it's one of them where I think it deserves a lot of the credit it's getting in the moment from my perspective. I think they did a really, really good job with it. And that's coming from someone, again, this might be coming from someone who doesn't watch much TV, so maybe my knowledge on TV isn't as good as my knowledge on film, whatever. But considering how much fun I had with it, I think a lot of people could as well. But I definitely get why people, don't like it as much as myself, definitely.
Yeah, but no, the writing is just so good. And yeah, I guess like, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I don't want to spoil it, but there's so many jaw-dropping scenes. And in episode 9, my jaw dropped so insanely. You probably know exactly what I'm talking about, but that was like one of the biggest jaw drops I've had in a long time watching anything. I was like, holy fuck, what did I just see?
It's hard to like spoil. It's hard to do like a spoiler. Obviously, we're not going to do one because it's a show. There is so much with this show that you could talk about. It's not like a film where you can just talk about one particular 10-minute section. There is 10 of those 10-minute sections to go over in each episode, whatever. In terms of, I was last thing, in terms of the final episode, I really liked the final episode. I think it was a good conclusion. I think it needed to have that conversation and kind of what was revealed and whatever. But at the same time, it wasn't, in my opinion, like near the best episode. I think there was at least 4 or 5 that I liked more.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it.
Yeah, really good. Yeah. I think everyone should watch it for sure because it is just so bite-sized and easily digestible. Like we said, 10 episodes, like 30 minutes. Like each one you can pop in, quick episode that. Every single episode will have like a gasping moment or a jaw-dropping moment, especially when you get towards the end of the season. So I'd recommend everyone watch it.
I don't know about you, Tyler, but I think Tyler and George would really like it as well. I think
I think both of them will. I think the comedy hits. Yeah. It is a comedy at its main genre for sure, but there's a lot of deeper themes there.
Me and Victoria are gonna probably get around to it next week.
I feel like Victoria will like it as well.
Yeah, and I came home and my mom was like, "Are you watching Beef?" And I'm like, "Oh God,
bro, you weren't here a second ago, but that's literally my mum came round, yeah." This is how I started watching it. My mom came out. We were going to watch a film, and she was like, "Oh, do you want to watch the first episode of Beef? I've seen Everett." Oh, have you seen Everett? Apparently, it's like one of those Netflix, like the fucking Night Agent.
Yeah.
Which apparently, do you know the Night Agent? Right, it's like the #1 show on Netflix, like one of them ever.
I don't even know what that is.
Never heard any of it. Anna turns around to me the other day. She's like, "Oh, I watched it in a day." What? I don't know anyone else who's seen it. So it's like Netflix just gets around. Their marketing is just there, isn't it?
I guess
it was great. It was great.